The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour. As always, it only matters that we're together at this time, not exactly where we're at. Ah! And it's broke. Why would it do something like that? No. Could it do that? No. Why would it do something like that? Let's see if we can't fix this. Occasionally it just decides that it wants to reset itself. Let's see, settings. And we go back.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Okay, so we got a market slightly down. Volume came in fairly strong yesterday, but not strong enough to bust out the lows. We do have kind of a sideways action. Dow's down a little bit. Russell's down a lot. S&P's off 0.4%, but the NASDAQ's up 0.3%. So I'm going to say it's a wash, certainly within the margin of error for the numbers we're working with. But we were looking for about 18 billion shares, came in with about 15 billion shares. So light, but not probably light enough to not see a little bit more of a dip. I don't think there's anything right now to say other than we're on Fed watch. And my guess is that we'll probably be plus or minus 0.2% of where we're at today. At the close into 2 o'clock tomorrow. There's just not a lot to change. The thing, though, is it's kind of like when someone says they're going to smack you or they're going to pull a hair from your head, but they're going to make you wait 5 minutes. It just seems to build up a lot of feelings that you wouldn't have if they just snuck up behind you and did it. And that's kind of what we're waiting on here. We're just the dread coming into tomorrow for what's probably going to be a 0.75% and maybe a 1%. It's kind of what everybody's doing. They're basing in 0.75 and saying maybe 1%. But that's kind of it. We don't have much else going on. I did find it rather interesting to see that on what should have been horrifically bad news for crude, we got basically sideways action today. Gold continues on its march to the sea like Sherman, down $20 today. So there aren't a lot of places to hide. At best, you're a wash if you were in crude. Maybe you were in one of the couple of stocks that actually was higher today. Let's see what we have out here. Oracle news came in fairly good. It's just above $70 now. I did see that it was around it was around 72-ish after the bell last night. Kind of was around there this morning, but slowly kind of giving some of it back. Very interesting for what they had to say. When you look at some of the other, what is it, Mongo? What is it, MDB? Not doing much on it, is it? I thought maybe getting a little bit of love from that, but apart. Now, I had a couple people email me before the show started, and of course you can always do that, 877-927-6648. But that's about it. Anyway, back to Oracle. Why did they pop? There's a lot of action now for databases for specific stuff. I was talking in the den yesterday, day before. It had to be yesterday. About databases and, them having very specific databases now. They used to be rather general. But there's a lot of specialized work now for holding things like documents in a database that can be searchable. We were talking about in the den about databases for stock data, and they're time-based databases, and there's some reasons why they can be incredibly more efficient, both document type and data and stock data and other things. Mostly there's a lot of work and money now in telemetry data, and that is just taking huge amounts of data and maybe putting a moving average on it or alarms. And this data can be anything from the temperature inside a Walmart to the humidity of somewhere. Now, sometimes you're getting this data like it's like you're drinking from a fire hose, like the stock market, every tick. Sometimes you get 3 or 4 ticks during the day, like the humidity in the ground or the water content of the soil. If you've got a bunch of sensors out sending data up, maybe through satellites, there's a lot of different things going on. And sometimes just documents themselves with, the important parts that you can search, like news articles, that kind of stuff. So these specialized databases have been kind of a boon for companies like MongoDB and Oracle. A little bit down, thinking that they're not going to spend a lot of more money on it. But I think even just the last 6 months has been pretty good for Oracle on working on specialized data and databases. Mostly for this, a lot of people call it the Internet of Things, but I just call it sensor data because you never really know where it comes from. But it's good on there. Now, the one thing you never can worry enough about if you're short is waking up to a stock where they're actually adding money to the dividend. And, of course, that really appeals to some folks. I always thought it was a bear trap that was loosely covered with leaves so you couldn't see it. But you're probably going to lose a leg if that's why you're buying. It is rare to actually never see a dividend cut one day. This is a pretty good time to actually throw one in. And guess what? I wonder if Apple would have the same results if they decided to do something like that. They can always just buy shares back. They have so much money. But what if they decide to do a one-time dividend or something like that? They may catch a lot of shorts on the wrong side. So I tend to go after companies that have real problems, not like this, where there's fairly good demand. It may not be the best of times, but maybe it's not the worst of times for some of the we shall return, like MacArthur to the Philippines.
Of booming inflation, where your purchasing power is eroded, there's no better place to protect your hard-earned money than in gold. Vista Gold's flagship asset is the Mount Todd Gold Project in the Northern Territory of Australia. This is Australia's largest undeveloped gold project. We are talking a world-class gold project in a Tier 1 mining district. This is a large-scale, low-cost project with significant existing infrastructure in a politically safe and friendly mining jurisdiction. Vista Gold just completed the Mount Todd feasibility study, which resulted in a 7 million ounce gold reserve and a 16-year mine life. All of this, combined with the approvals of all major operational as well as environmental permits. This distinguishes Mount Todd as an attractive, de-risk partner, ready development stage gold project. Vista Gold trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol VGZ.
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader, simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month. And try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors. Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, how does that? Okay. I just wanted to okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. Got that one handled privately. I don't think we want to talk about it on the new. What we want to do, though, is do a little bit of history, and then we'll get on for the rest.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day, 1822, Carl Babbage unveils his design for a machine he calls the difference engine. We would think about it as a mechanical calculator today. The first example of the mechanical computing machine that was ever built. It was not finished, though, because they wouldn't continue to fund it. The British government funded the original difference engine to about 80% completion, which Babbage never actually completed. I think he died before. However, Babbage's design for the difference engines and his later analytical engines spurred future designs of working mechanical computers. In 1991, a working difference engine was constructed using his plans, proving the designs would have worked if they would have just continued to fund the technology to actually design something like that. And of course, the impotence for all of that was computing trajectories for naval guns and other guns, regular howitzers and all that kind of stuff. It was kind of it wasn't great after they got stuff. It was kind of a catch as catch can, but you could be sending stuff miles in the wrong direction before they really got the decent computers about 1885, 1890, started getting actual computing machines from, National Cash Register? I think that was the first company that really started building stuff like that, along with their cash registers. started building stuff. And of course, that eventually became IBM. People ask me what my first computer was, and I'll tell them the truth. But you're going to hear a little bit of behind the scenes today, and that is, here is my first computer. It was an analog computer, and most people don't know it, but you could have, I actually got this when I was 12 years old, so circa 1973-ish. And you could program this thing. It had little pieces of white tube on it, and it was pretty amazing. There were like 15 programs that came with it, and you could play the games of NIM and some other stuff and checkers, and there was a lot of that kind of stuff that was out there. But even to this day, I've occasionally helped out teaching computers to folks, and I'll buy one of these and have them spend the first few hours assembling this thing and playing with it. It is a mechanical computer, but it is a computer nonetheless, but it gets the idea across of how to actually build one. This is called the Digicomp 1. There's a Digicomp 2 that's available, and if you put in your order about every 6 months, the guy will ship some, but he shipped about another 5,000 since this thing went out of production. You could have bought your first computer for about $7 in the mid-'60s. I bought mine, like I said, in around 1972 or 3. About 3 years later, I would build my first Altair 8080, and the rest is history. But I have to always think about this fondly, because if you're really trying to understand computers and you don't understand them, it's generally because they don't explain how they work. And this one works without any power, other than you having to pull the lever kind of on the side back and forth and move these things back and forth. But that's probably what mine looks like now. It was probably in a landfill somewhere. I think it broke, actually, and I threw it away. But in the meantime, I think I had I taught a class, I think first time in about 2002 on computer programming. And I bought one of these again, but they do make them in repos. Pretty neat. But my actual first computer was a mechanical computer. 877-927-6648 as we go to the market, already in action with questions. You can email me at path@TFNN. Wax on. What? 1964? My birth dates are always hidden. I always kind of fudge them a little bit, so you'll never find mine. But you kind of know, don't you? You could probably figure it out. Yeah, maybe not. Other people know. Being a semi or even semi public figure, I'm not a big fan of giving out my birthday. And just about everything else is I've got 20 different emails accounts, and I use a different password for literally everything. And I've got some honey traps out there to find out if people are actually trying to hack something I have. So I'm fairly good at computer security. The hidden puller. Anyway, first question out here. Where for Pete? He goes for repeat. He says, where would you cover a WFC short? The Wells Fargo. Well, there's a big gap down here at about $36. My guess is that's where big support is. So you got another $1.60. I think we're probably going to see some kind of washout after the Fed and then a big recovery. But my guess is they're going to blow out anybody that is even sitting on the fence tomorrow. And then we're going to see the recovery once everybody that has thrown the baby out with the bathwater, almost when the market's ready to turn. As I said yesterday, I think we're probably going to see some gaps. Maybe that happens on Thursday. Maybe we just go sideways tomorrow. But I think there's one more push out here before we find everybody coughing up lung cookies in the market and tossing in the market at the lows. One of the reasons is I just haven't seen some of the action I would like to see in the trend or the tick quite yet. The other reason is so many stocks set up with two gaps lower in this last leg, and I'm thinking we'll be back in a minute. We'll start looking at some more charts. On to natural gas next for Jay.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metal sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN has just launched their new trading room, the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. And now they are expanding the reach with the Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. In the Tiger's Den, you can look over the shoulders of Tom O'Brien and the other TFNN hosts while they analyze charts during their live Tiger TV programs, and join an interactive trading community with hundreds of members exchanging ideas. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day, even at night and on the weekends. The Tiger's Den at Discord is accessible on mobile or tablets as well, so it's always at your reach. To sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders, just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we come back, Jay's talking about nat gas. And I was thinking, you get your pullback here, which is pretty good. But again, I don't know why you get too excited until August in natural gas. This actually went a little bit below what I thought might be support. I was thinking maybe 26, but it's in here. Now, if this just goes sideways the rest of the summer, I think it's probably a wonderful thing. I'm looking at the UNG here. But this natural gas is significantly weak every summer. It gets legs again when energy companies electric companies sign the contracts late in August, early in September. But generally, it'll start running maybe the last week of August, even when it's a hot and there's a lot of energy production. All that stuff's actually on the contract. But generally, you start seeing these things do extremely well when the electric companies sign or right at or around the contract level. So to me, just watching natural gas fairly closely since it hit it was $16 back in 2006. I think it was fall of 2006 or something, where it started falling apart. It's always been weak midsummer, late June, July, and the first 2 to 3 weeks of August. So I am not surprised that it's pulled back. And I actually like it. You get an opportunity to go long again. But again, it's been weak late in the summer. So I don't think there's much that's news out here. Okay. Again, just wait a little while. CF. Okay. Would I recommend buying CF? I wouldn't recommend buying anything today. It is up, and you have some decent volume. I would be waiting till either you'll probably get a decent signal of some kind of low either tomorrow afternoon after the announcement or Thursday, and then you probably look for some kind of bounce on Friday. But you went right up to pretty heavy resistance in this today, and you're right at it. Maybe to me, it would just be a bet. I know what a lot of people are going to do collectively. As Sherlock Holmes said in one of his books, as a group, people can become a almost mathematical certainty, but an individual, you'll have absolutely no idea what they're capable of and what good or bad decisions they'll make. And we're talking about a handful of people in the Fed. These were the same idiots that said it was transitory. So I'm not betting my future on them being smart, and not betting my future on them at least not making yet another bad mistake going forward. I don't know. When in doubt, stay out is the old chestnut of market ideology. And I'm going to just stay cash until I see something. But I think we're setting up for a fairly nice pop into Friday. We've got the 3-day weekend. We've got all the bad news in the world being hopped on. Does that get us out of a bear market? No, but I would rather have a very small amount of money on risk on Friday with some options than having lots of money out here that could literally go either way. I don't want to probably buy a equity. You're probably looking at, maybe weakness all the way now through probably the 4th of July. I thought maybe we'd hold up there and then we'd get the pounding. But my guess is that we're going to get the pounding all the way now to 4th of July, where we might set some kind of low. We had dubious news again on the Saudi oil production, so maybe that could help a little bit. I've continued to check, and I've had a couple of people email me, and I read the newspaper, online newspapers from down in Louisiana. They continue to have all these articles about trying to get the oil out of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, but are cut off at the pass by everybody trying to halt any of that oil actually coming out. It's very tough to find out if a drop has come out, a little bit or a lot. But from the articles, I would say maybe nothing. And that is just because they put all that oil, it's all designed to be oil to be put in, not taken out. And a lot of the roads have just grown over the years. When you look at the websites for the energy, it seems to me they've got some kind of bizarre deal where if you actually put more oil in storage somewhere else, It kind of acts like you actually gotten oil out of the SPR, so you're not really taking it out. It reminds me a lot of the scam that, what was the guy's name that invented the internet? Oh, yeah. He had made almost $1 billion selling phony energy tax credits for carbon. It almost is at least the people that were silly enough to give him the money, and then he got fleeced by, or he fleeced them by, is it? But carbon credits, same kind of thing. It seems to me like there's a lot of innuendo, but not a lot of actual oil hitting the market from the SPR. So I'm still rather dubious. But of course, you had at least the second round going after the deal with the Saudis to produce more oil. Last week, they actually had a deal. Then the spin meisters in the White House decided to crush the deal by representing it incorrectly. I see this morning that the meeting is back on. So maybe there is a little bit of overhang for oil, but it's very tough to see. But that it. Yeah, no one's buying it. Everybody knows the king has no clothes these days. Okay. What else do we have? Oh, that's kind of it at the moment. Okay, now what do we want to go? Oh, let's go back and look at the usual suspects and see what we have. We were talking yesterday about some of them actually looking fairly good before we got into the close. And yesterday you had 46 million shares. That was about 20 million shares at 230 or 240. So a lot of that volume came in very late in the day. You broke the low. You did do it with volume. 6 million's probably not a lot. You're going sideways here today. Could you pull back in? Yeah, bounce again. I kind of like these three gaps down that we've had off the top. So could you get back up to 270 from 245? And that just be a dead cat bounce? You could. Energy's about the same on the way up as the way down. So yeah. Now the question is just whether or not we continue selling off all the way to the July the 4th weekend. But I think we could fill these gaps on Friday.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
And we're back. Anyway, always in a market that goes kind of sideways, you can always get distracted with other stuff. But especially in sideways market, we get to vent our spleens occasionally. Anyway, we got some more questions out here. Take a look at biotech. You came back down. Actually, the IBB does look fairly good. I dislike the volume a little bit yesterday, but this is what you're looking for today. If you come in with about 2.5 million shares, that's exactly what you're looking for. The May 12th low at 105.39 with almost 5 million shares into it, with 3 million yesterday, 1.7 million shares today. It's exactly what you're looking for. Again, though, I dislike that you have two gaps and you don't have a third. I would love to see either a gap down tomorrow or maybe Thursday or maybe Friday to set some kind of hook and then see everybody start short covering before the 3-day weekend. So I could see fairly big turnaround, but it's not all wine and roses. Although that was a good, wasn't it was it the Days of Wine and Roses? The Jack movie? I think so. Man, that was depressing. I wonder why I watched it as a kid. Okay, question about Apple. You brought up that they could buy back shares. Certainly could. You did come in just slightly, just by the hair of your chinny chin, under the May 20th low. That had 137 million shares compared to the 122 million shares yesterday. Again, this isn't a pattern that says we're going to go to the moon come fall, but is a pattern that generally has some level of trading range in it. Now, this one does have the three gaps down. You're going sideways, and you do have it. My guess is that this one probably will hold up now better than others, but I wouldn't want to do anything earlier. My guess is what we're probably going to have is some kind of move, and it's going to fill this last gap down on the stocks that already have three gaps, and maybe fill the gaps on the ones that gap down in the next couple of days, setting up a low in the market, or at least a tradable low for a while, maybe for Friday, which is all I care about. I want minimum risk and maximum reward on quad witching. Let's go back to some other usual suspects. That's still, can you watch that movie, enjoy it now with what's his doodle being charged? It's still a great movie. Does it make it an ungood movie? Don't know. Can you watch it? That's what I want to know. You going to get thrown in the hooskow? Don't know. No one tells me these rules. I used to know them all, but I was a younger man then. NVIDIA, May 12th. Yes, probably one of the best movies of all time, actually. Usual Suspects. May 12th, 155.67, 71 million shares for NVIDIA. Yesterday, you got into it with 60 million shares. Again, lighter. You're going sideways here today. This one does also have 3 gaps off the top. So you could just hang around here. Things going pretty good. Let's take a look at Taiwan Semi. This company just continues to say they're going to make more and more money. The problematic issue there is Taiwanese getting invaded by the Chinese. They were out rattling sabers over the last couple of days, telling us to stay out of the strait. We, of course, ignored them, as we should. But you do have a little higher volume down here at 85.02. This one just has 2 gaps down. Again, I would think that maybe you get some really horrible news or something. You get that 3rd gap down, and then you pull back into the trading range and make kind of a low, and maybe we consolidate out at these lows through July 4th, and then maybe we see some kind of attempt at a rally. And unless we do something about energy prices, it will be, of course, a bounce in a bear market. But you know what? You can make a lot of money in bounces in the bear market, especially if you're there at the right time with options, because most everybody's buying puts. 877-927-6648. We go back to the email already in progress on this show. So the question is there anything in Datadog? Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Okay. Okay. Kaiser Sose, yeah. Yeah, Kevin Spacey, that was it. Can you watch that movie now? I don't know what the rules are anymore. Well, I get canceled if I watch the movie. Okay, Datadog. The old dog still got some tricks. The big low is May 18th out here at $84.69. You got back into that with 6.7 million shares. That was on the 26th, and you had a little bit of a rally up to 116. Now, when Wyckoff terms, this is called an automatic rally, and that is one without any preparation. It's hard to really understand how well and how far to predict those. One of the reasons why he waited until it came back down and retested the previous lows. Yesterday, 6.7 million shares, but today, a beautiful 2.8 million shares. Now, you get something like that again tomorrow, very light volume. You do have a little less energy, not a whole lot off the top, but there is something there. Certainly, the next couple of days with light volume would be a little bit better for some of these. And again, I'm not expecting that the end is nigh for any of these stocks, but they could see a lot lower yet this year. But again, I'm going to not be out here with a shotgun shooting at everything in the sky. I'm going to be more of a sniper, looking for incredibly high risk reward trades, and probably most of the time being out of the market. You don't have to be, it's not like they pay you wages, hourly income to show up and put your money at risk. I'd rather wait until my back was against the wall. Anyway, no volume today on Datadog. Actually, not one of the worst ones. I'm not predicting the end out here. You do have a lot of 3-gap plays out here. This one could get one more. And, yeah, could you get a fairly decent rally? Maybe into July. And then the next really big down move. But, I'm pretty much stuck on the idea that 80% of all our troubles are high energy costs, and that would take care of a world of problems if we decided to change to energy policies here in the United States. As long as we don't, or only fiddle around the edges, I think those are going to continue. So, yeah. We'll see whether they decide to go down as the captain, whether they decide to go down with the ship before the elections, or if they change course from energy-friendly policy into the fall. back in a minute.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
As we get ready to wrap up the day, Cliff emails in about Redfin. And you had some decent volume yesterday. You closed at 855, which was below the previous low. Volume was just under 5 million shares compared to the 6 million shares. Today, you got about 3.3, so you can end up with 4 million shares probably. So, these are where these things pop back into the trading range. They generally do it in a day. Doesn't mean that the end is over for the downside. This is, of course, real estate. No big surprise out here. Let's see. Go back out here. Residential real estate brokerage company in the United States and Canada. The company operates an online retail marketplace and provides real estate services, including and assisting individuals in the purchase or sale of homes. Assisting. That's every real estate agent I ever know, because, of course, they only get paid when something moves. But I do digress. Anyway, we're off 24 points on the S&P cash. And again, for what we've moved, that's a rounding error. Where this comes in, I'm not exactly sure. We've got just about 24 hours from today. Well, the meeting or the the presser with Jay Powell will be over, and maybe another 15 minutes. So 24 hours and 15 minutes. And I think we're going to know a great deal before that. I did run options. They're just extremely wide for Friday. My guess is they're going to firm up, and we're going to understand a lot more. And I'm certainly going to know a lot more tomorrow, just close. And then we can decide on whether or not I can get money. In the meantime, just to make it tricky. Sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people.